Who's you got right there? You got the dirty Sprite? You know what I'm saying?
No, it's a special brew.
Special brew?
Mm-hmm.
It must be that good old ginger ale, that good old dirty Arizona iced tea,
Yep.
aka Flint water.
No.
You
But
sure
somebody need to make a drink like they Flint water.
Yo, dog, if somebody made a drink named Flint water, that shit will get you the fucking most twisted. I'm telling you. But anyway, man, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck are you looking at?
I'll show y'all afterwards. My bad.
I
Let's
see
do
Logan
this.
Paul, and I know he doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? He big time. You know what I mean? As far as the Vine, so I'm trying to get there. But anyway, man, you know you're watching the corner once again. It's your boy Cough Biz.
Your boy Reminisce.
Your boy Keon.
One day we're gonna change the order.
Yeah,
nah, fuck that shit, man. You always last, nigga. Let me go ahead and get one of these joints, man.
Last.
Go ahead.
And today, and speaking of being last, the last episode we were talking about racism. We were supposed to be talking about racism, classism, and sexism, but we kind of got stuck a little bit on racism. I mean, I'm sorry, we're black. We're three of the darkest niggas on this planet. Like, it's always an issue with us. So today,
speak for yourself. What?
Do you look the same color as your shirt? I'm just saying.
This nigga is darker than this shirt. Black ass nigga.
We all win playing hide and seek in the dark. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's wearing his Flint water today. But anyway, today we're gonna talk about classism. We might get to a little bit of sexism, because what people tend to not understand is that when it comes to race, it's not just simply about race. It's also about class as well. You know, it's not just about the color of your skin, but also your economic tax bracket as well.
Well, don't you think that affects majority of minorities, which would be based off the color of the skin when it comes to that tax bracket?
I mean, I say that the Flint water crisis that affected the majority of minorities, and the thing about it is, I did hear this on this other podcast one time that black people are the face of poor people. Like when you think of poor people initially, it's almost like, you know, of what we do, and I think that it's part of like the culture that we created. You know, like, and I was
but the culture that we created has been more along the lines of, hey, let me not give you any type of hope for you to move forward through your future.
Well, yes, but I wasn't even thinking about from that aspect. I was thinking about like for fashion, for instance, right? Now especially like in the early 90s, like when grunge rock was big with Seattle, Washington.
Heck yeah.
You know, because I was listening to another podcast that was talking about that, where they actually popularized, you know, ripped jeans and having holes in your jeans. But when it came to us, niggas was just poor. You know what I'm saying? We was just kids. We was playing at recess, and you know what I'm saying? We used to ride bikes, and we used to play kickball and play football and get holes in that shit all the time. We didn't always have the luxury of our parents actually buying us another pair of jeans, so another shirt. So we just had to rock the shit with no holes. That's what I kind of mean. Like when it comes to us creating culture based on our circumstances, because we didn't always. We weren't always able to just buy another pair of jeans, another shirt.
Which is how hip hop came about, if you think about it, in New York City, pretty much.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But I mean,
and we started popularizing that.
But that was us taking nothing and turning it into something.
But we do.
But that's what we do.
But that's what that's what we are famous for.
Of course.
The problem is
oh, hold on, and just real quick for them battles that say, oh, you know, you got rappers sampling rock and roll from, you know, Caucasian people. Rock and roll technically was started by a black man. I'm just saying. What was his name? Chuck Berry?
Yeah, the original pisser.
I'm just saying.
The original motherfucker that was peeing on girls.
R. Kelly.
I mean, he didn't piss on no underage girls who.
They were underage. He was meant.
With Chuck Berry?
I want to say they were underage.
Well, back then, like, I think
it wasn't just because they were white, because I think some of them were underage.
See, at that time, like, incest was, like, barely illegal at that time. Like, I know, like, Jerry Lee Lewis, he was fucking with an underage girl. You know what I mean? So.
You're right, because didn't somebody we know say, well, you know, hell, back in the day when I was coming up, a 40-year-old, it wasn't an issue for him to mess with a 15-year-old and stuff like that. So you're right.
It wasn't an issue at all.
Now, my question is this: was it not an issue because of class, or was it the time?
Well, definitely the time, because We actually have, especially in different religions and mythologies, you actually have stories in the Bible. You actually have the stories like within like Greek and Roman mythology where, especially in Greek and Roman mythology, where gods would actually transform into different beings and actually have sex with underage. Yeah. So it's definitely, a thing with the times. I wouldn't necessarily call it class. I would say though that part of it was class because it's kind of different than what it was now. See, now we've pretty much been in the age of the working woman since the 80s. So now, there's two incomes within the household, and sometimes the woman has the dominating income.
Nowadays, women do.
Yeah, the dominating income in the household. So when it comes to that shit, it's like, it's definitely a different thing. But see, back in the day, especially when all niggas really had was like farms and stuff like that, where, women couldn't really work farms or women couldn't be construction workers and all that kind of good stuff. The man was pretty much the sole income. Therefore, like the fathers were marrying their daughters off to guys that actually had money.
You know what I think changed that? The war.
Which one?
Was it World War One? Was that when the women started playing baseball and all that? Plus
the
getting jobs
World
in
War
the factory?
II.
That's World War II?
Yeah, that was World War II.
Yeah, that changed it though.
I mean, well, that was
they
kind of
started
done
going to
out
factories
of
and working to take care because they had drafted every man that was 18 and over.
Yeah, but women were working in factories also.
Yeah, that's what I said. Factories playing, sports. Like, remember, baseball was gone for a little while, and they were watching female baseball.
You talking about like a league of their own and shit?
Actually, yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, like around that time.
Around that time, that was that changed everything.
I mean, the reason why
that was definitely a group of unsexy lesbians.
Why did it have to be lesbians? First off, I'm not even going to argue with you.
I got to get my sexism in this. Everything I do is planned and calculated. Don't you know that?
Planned and calculated.
I'm just saying they were not all lesbians. They were just athletic tomboyish girls. Don't tell me you had never met a tomboyish girl that you were attracted to. That was just very.
Hey, women are going to be in the NFL.
I heard that one. What did you say?
I said women are going to be in the NFL soon.
Look at that.
Yes, they are.
I don't know because there's going to be some sexual harassment charges in there.
Hey, regardless of the fact, it's coming.
They can keep the lingerie league. I only say, and I'm not even.
Yo, they're kind of rough.
With that, right?
They don't play games. Yeah.
But with that, I'm being
down.
Right. But see, the thing about that is that like they're still not hitting like the guys in the NFL. Guys have helmets on, full helmets on with multiple face mask bars, and guys are still getting concussed weekly.
Technically speaking, name the
No. I mean, no. What I'm saying is that the guys are hitting harder than the females in the line.
I know some females.
Some females.
What's her name? Who hits and fights like a nigga? 350 pounds. What? 6'3"?
Yeah.
There's some females like her.
Question.
That can hit hard.
Have you ever seen any girl like over like 120 pounds in lingerie league?
Not in the lingerie league, but in regular football, yes. I've seen girls that play with guys in football.
Okay, so
they're not in the NFL.
So here's the thing: a female can be a quarterback, running back, or wide receiver.
Of course, a female can be a fucking quarterback. Quarterbacks don't get hit in the NFL.
There you go.
Not this year. They've been getting hit like what?
Why is that? Why Peyton
No.
Dead ass fucking.
No. See, the hits that we're talking about.
Is that why this nigga has no nerves in the back of his neck?
No. The hits that you're talking about is they run up to him and shove him on the ground. We're not talking about LT hits where he hits you and it look like the Mutant League and half your body decapitates off.
No. I'm telling
you. It's not the same hits.
It's not the same hits.
I'm telling you, they're not going to just push him to the ground. I've
seen the lingerie league.
You grew up in this area. How many females did you see play high school football between DC, Maryland, and Virginia? I've seen at least 6.
It's gonna happen.
And they were rougher than the dudes. I mean, laying. When you knock a dude out, you knock a nigga out, and he's sitting there sleeping. They had to pop that. Who go there?
Okay, Icebox.
No, who that?
Okay, Icebox.
Hey, Little Giants.
Little Giants. Okay, Icebox.
There's girls just like Icebox that'll put it to you. They don't care. Just like there's girls that'll. Would you fight Layla Ali? Apparently, she don't hit as hard as dudes. According to y'all.
I mean, I'm gonna just get this.
What do you mean, y'all? What you talking about, y'all?
Y'all saying a woman can't do what some.
I didn't say that. I said that it would be in the NFL.
I didn't say that. I said that in the NFL they hit harder than girls in the lingerie football league. Then you mentioned girls that were like playing in high school football. I wasn't talking about. I was talking about.
But they're not going to draft them to the NFL no matter how good they are. There's a couple of girls right now that are in middle school.
Already going to start happening.
Vicious, better than a lot of them boys.
Tougher, but you know why that. But you know why that is. You know why that is. That's why sexism, at least as far as the playing field, is actually accepted in football. And I'll tell you why. How long is the football regular season?
Not that long. So
3 months, and then another month for the playoffs.
Okay.
As many times as people get multiple concussions and they're out for the year, out for their career, torn Achilles, torn ACLs, torn MCLs.
You see that with
torn labrums, broken bones, and a girl can just fuck around and get pregnant. Her season is done. No, what I'm saying, a season is done. So what happens is she breaks her leg, then she's not doing any football. She's off her feet. So then her husband doesn't even have to sweep her off her feet. He's fucking drilling the shit out that motherfucker. Then she gets pregnant. Then she has the baby. That's already a 9-month process. Then she can't fuck or really do much for another couple weeks after that, especially anything physical, probably for a couple of months. And then as soon as she steps back on the field, then she breaks another leg. That's 3 years. Done.
What if she doesn't want to have kids?
Or what if she, after she have the child, comes
women
right
have
back
kids
in?
even after their tube side.
I'll put you this way. For women that
That's why they made a Plan B pill, because they figured that some girls will want to go into football. So that's why they made the Plan B pill.
What about women that are not?
Because they don't want them to no longer have that scoop. Because if they do have the abortion.
What about women that are not into men? They're not going to get pregnant. So what's the excuse there?
I mean, sometimes they do though. I mean, you know what I'm saying? No, because of. I mean, what's the shit called? The visualization.
I know what you're talking about. They pregnate them just because that's what they request. I forget the actual terminology name for it, but he was close.
In vitro fertilization.
Yeah, in vitro.
No, but see, usually for women that are that are lesbian, they'll get their lesbian partner to do that while they go ahead.
But let's say, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but women don't heal as fast as men and something else. Their pussies heal like that compared to the rest of their bones and ligaments and organs.
Hey, look. Technically speaking, no. I don't think so. I think that we all heal at the same rate. But
no, we don't all heal at the same rate. You know why?
No.
We don't have pussies, so we can't judge.
Look at Tony Romo. He came back from a broken clavicle and then turned around and broke that sucker again.
For one, he didn't get surgery. For one, he just let it heal.
That's all I gotta say.
You said what?
They better win.
It was the Carolina
Panthers. Y'all better fucking win, dog. I'm giving you the same rule as Alabama, dog. If y'all don't win, I don't even want to hear Carolina Panthers, yo.
What?
I don't want to hear y'all for another 8 years, dog.
Not 8 years.
For another 8 years.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you on that one.
That's supposed to wash them niggas, dog.
If
for
Peyton
real.
Manning wins white privilege, I'm just saying.
Wow. Did you take it there?
Yeah, no, the show we were listening to said that it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
They weren't serious.
They said
of course, we're not serious.
They said Cam Newton. They said specifically Cam Newton versus Peyton Manning. Black Lives Matter versus white privilege.
Yeah, he was just being a butthole, but it was hilarious.
No, he wasn't. He was being truthful.
He's being truthful, but at the same time,
because what was the thing that he said off the break? He was like, "Yo, does anybody realize how fast those HGH allegations for Peyton Manning
went away? They went away fast. Like everybody else, there was months, years of investigation. How many hours was it?
But if Cam dabs, he's a thug.
Yeah. Though
he had to hide the fact he had a kid on the way just so it wouldn't be in the news like that.
Which means that just because he's in the same class as some other rich people, hey, racism, money can't cure it all.
Apparently it can.
So that's racism and classism.
Except you're throwing on.
Even look, think about this. Even in the class he's in now, because of the money he makes, still discriminated against.
Yeah.
Hold on. What does Gronkowski do when he scores a touchdown or gets some yards?
No, he looked like a monkey.
But
matter of fact, you remember when they lost the Super Bowl and his fucking arm was broken and he was in the bench with the cast like this, dancing like a motherfucker in the club. Then he went, oh shit, my bad. I'm supposed to be hurt.
But maybe he's just super strong.
Fuck out of here, dog. but I mean, no, that's the thing. It's like with us because of and I think what it is that we so swagged out, we so motherfucking cool with everything.
What's Aaron Rodgers thing?
Oh,
it got turned into a what commercial for who? Discount double check.
You know what I'm saying? That's State Farm shit.
But because he just wants to dab or dance and have a good time and smile, he's arrogant and.
Because he does it 2 times.
And I'm sorry, but wife people, I'm speaking to you, and I'm speaking to you because I want to help you and guide you. Let's stop dabbing like we're swatting flies. Let's stop dabbing like you got sweat in your brow that you're trying to get and your arms are too short to get it. I'm tired of like y'all just. I'm tired of just like stop trying to hit yourself in your own fucking face when you dab. Like it's just that's it. Just move your fucking shoulder over here. Boom.
Let's do it.
Breaking your own fucking nose. I swear I saw somebody break their own fucking nose trying to dance.
It's a dangerous dance, man.
It doesn't matter if you're in the NFL. It doesn't matter in real life. When you get to that certain class, you're still experiencing racism and sexism, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think that still a lot of the barriers are starting to get knocked down. I mean, you're starting to see YouTube video clips where girls are like, outclassing guys and doing the same thing, route running. There was a one on, one of the things I guess that we're a part of on Facebook, and they showed a video. Like the girl ran this supreme route, one hand grab, boom. Come on. I mean, over the dude.
Hold on. Hopefully it's not the group that like we're in, and if that's the group that you don't do nothing in it, but hopefully it's not that group.
What do you mean? I don't do nothing. Well, hey, look, that's a whole other story. But I'm just saying,
you're not very participatory in a lot of things that you do.
Participatory in a lot of things.
Unless it's video games.
No. Negative.
Bullshit. Prove it.
So pretty much he loves video games. So you know what that means?
I am a gamer.
He's a very
sexist. I have not been on my game in like a month and a half now.
Why the fuck are you lying? A month and a half?
I said really been on it. I know when we were snowed in, I was up there.
Okay.
Which means that.
But it took me to be snowed in to be on it.
Which means that instead of spending his regular 12 hours playing, he only spent 10. That's what he makes.
No. No and no.
I would say it was 4 hours.
Look,
because he still did a lot of other stuff.
That
surprisingly, during the snowed in, there was nothing else to do. You did like about 3-4 hours of video. But then you were reading articles.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
You're reading articles?
Yeah, he always reads articles.
I always read articles.
It's usually tech.
You sure?
Yes, I'm a tech nerd. I go to tech websites and start reading articles.
I do the same thing.
So, but I'm just saying, like, look, the barriers are already being broken down. You can see it happening. It's just only a matter of time. What college coach is going to be like, yo, you know what? I'll take you on, and then they actually start seeing the skills that women can actually contribute to the game.
There's a lot of skills that can contribute.
I'm just saying, like, which college coach is going to end up being?
Somebody who's going to do it?
Yeah, who's going to do it?
Who knows?
I'm
pretty sure somebody has been on college football.
I don't think that right now.
In the NFL, we got 2
like
female
kickers.
Coaches in the NFL now, right?
Well, female coaches in the NFL.
Coaches like line coaches and linebacker coaches.
And
but
kickers.
That's still female coaching in the NFL.
Yeah,
but it's starting to show. It's starting to break down.
But kickers in college, which means that
that's the kickers.
Of course, like with the kickers, they're not in every game. They're not in every play. They're not going to give her any flack for not tackling anybody on the kick return.
You better tackle. I'll give you flack. You're a football player. You better tackle that.
I tackle that motherfucker. That. You remember what we used to do back in the day? Sorry. You know what I'm saying? We used to play the little pickup games of football and all that shit. And you tackle a girl.
It
You
was
know what you
always
do.
a questionable grab somewhere.
And that's
Yeah,
why I
they're
say when they get in there might be some sexual harassment or sexual
And I don't
assault
think that
charges.
anybody right now is even progressive
I
enough to
don't.
take
I
that
don't think.
step
I don't
in
necessarily
the
think
NFL.
so.
She could get up and easily say he grabbed between my legs when he tackled me. How do you dispute that?
Don't they haven't even got the
Do you know how
fucking
many
Rooney Rule
cameras?
right?
Do you know how many cameras they got everywhere? Come on.
Oh,
No,
If
if there's
she
a
had-
pile up, you're not gonna see everything that happens.
you're not
in the
gonna see
pile.
everything in the fucking pile up.
You're not.
But as far as the NFL goes, they haven't even got the Rooney Rule yet, where they're supposed to actually seriously interview at least
Minorities.
one black candidate or at least one, minority. Period. But they don't even always do that. Like what they do is they already have somebody in mind. So then it's like, okay, Edmund. I mean, I know you're a shitty fucking offensive line coach anyway. I'm gonna bring you in to fucking interview you about my head coaching position. Even you're gonna be like, why the fuck am I being interviewed for this? I'm a shitty fucking coach. I'm Edmund. I'm you know what I'm saying? It's like, whoever I am, I am done in every aspect of life. So it's like
They do it to clear
Yeah.
to clear the
if
books.
if
I mean,
my-
that's pretty much what
yeah.
it is.
If my name is Robert, if my name is Edmund, if my name is Derek, and I ain't shit, hey, I'm just not shit.
But the thing is that rule was put into place to try to give some legitimate coaches
But
a
it don't
chance.
work like that.
But the problem is hey, if an owner or a GM had already
Everybody
had
wants
somebody in
John
mind-
Gruden to come back to coaching. Everybody wants Bill Cowher to come back to coaching. So when it comes to that, you're not gonna look at a motherfucking DB coach and seriously consider him as that when you're already trying to interview one of those coaches and bring one of those coaches in.
True.
But enough with the sports, at least for right now. What is your opinion on the?
Well, he look like that, though.
this nigga got real nervous.
I didn't get nervous.
Nigga, like we was interviewing you for a murder or rape
Nigga,
of a male.
Yeah, dog.
Sorry, you never going.
You look.
Yeah, I know.
You look nervous and shit. You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
not nervous.
Like when you looking like that boy you like, and you like, yeah, like.
Really?
Should I ask him for double meat this time when I go to Subway?
Yeah.
It always goes
I'm
too
sorry.
far to the wherever it goes at.
But
Always.
What do you think about the Flint water crisis?
Yeah.
Because of course, a lot of people right now are crying racism and prejudice against black people, just letting black people
I have
consume
mixed
this.
feelings about that.
I actually think that it's not only that because they're mostly black, but it's also as far as the black people, other minorities, as well as white people that are affected,
Yeah.
it's actually mainly poor people, in my opinion. So I think it's more of a class issue.
It is more of a class
What do you
issue.
think?
I mean, you have to understand, like when you look and delve in it more, it was that what was going on in Michigan from the beginning of 4 or 5 years ago was all about class. If you wasn't in an affluent neighborhood, your neighborhood was considered either poor or doing underrated.
Mm-hmm.
And so the governor of that state would send these special managers that superseded everybody
Mm-hmm.
and they're in the local governments. And that's the whole reason why the Flint water thing happened. It was one person instead of elected officials coming together and saying, hey, we have this thing called democracy in place so we can keep accidents from happening and us
Right.
poisoning our neighbors. And it was one person saying, well, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this, get rid of the water line from Detroit, and we're going to do river water. Well, river water is very corrosive to pipes. So what? We're going to do it anyway. And then come to find out, okay, after you make the move, you don't even do the necessary steps to keep it from corroding, which they are steps to keep it from happening.
Mm-hmm.
Still didn't do it and didn't execute because you were being cheap. The whole reason why they want to go from the water thing, from the Detroit water to the river water is to be cheap.
Here's an interesting
Hold
question.
on, real quick before you even start. This motherfucker actually was like reading shit for once, yeah. This
That's
motherfucker
messed up.
was on point. I was like, God damn, this nigga sounds so smart, but he's still so stupid.
Oh,
But he sounds so
wow.
Go on.
You're an ass for that.
Go on.
Hey.
I had to interject.
So, with that being said, notice that what you said they did. What community did that water go to? And I'm agreeing with you. So
I mean, yeah, Flint, Michigan is
it wasn't
it was predominantly black, but it's still. I mean, it was
that
still class.
That shit wouldn't have happened in the rich neighborhood.
No,
as soon as that shit happened, they were like, I don't think this is.
No,
I'm gonna go talk to Bill right now because this is not going down.
Because there's a prime.
Yo, it is always a fucking political official named Bill.
Always. But hey,
shout out to Bill Clinton, by the way. You know what I'm saying? We know you're gonna be the new president of 2016. If not enough people actually vote for Bernie.
I'm going for Bernie. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going for Hillary.
No. I'm talking. What did I just say?
We'll talk about that later.
I'm talking about these people in general. But
look, the case in point was this: in Texas, the new thing to try to get natural gas out of the ground is fracking. I don't know if y'all know what that is. Basically, you inject hot water. You inject chemicals into the rock to release the natural gas out of it.
I didn't know
that. Well,
that
guess
was
what?
for.
Yeah, it's called fracking.
I didn't know that's what it's called. But okay.
So here's the thing: they doing all this in the more poorish neighborhood, but as soon as they started saying, "Hey, y'all got some very poorish rock underneath y'all land," they were like, "Nope, not over here." Shut it down before they even had a chance. They were like, "Well, if you could tear up our neighborhood and make our neighborhood smell like methane for like months and months out of the year, why can't we go over here?" "Oh no, we can't have it over here." Of course it is. Everything's about class warfare right now. Everything.
Everybody in those kind of neighborhoods ain't gonna be like Jed Clampett and the Beverly Hillbillies and come across some oil, some black gold. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna come across Flint water, aka nigger blood. That's what you're gonna come across in those situations. I definitely agree with you. You know when you do say that. Like I said, you actually proved it. You fucking read. Good job. I want to give you like a fucking gold star to put in your fucking refrigerator or some shit. But
this is what I get.
You actually did do your research. You did your research. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you were reading it or if your boyfriend was reading it and he's telling you, he's giving you the fucking clip notes. But I don't know.
Why they were laying on each other's lap?
Why he's laying on your chest?
YouTube, hold on one second. Hold on.
He started it.
I'm going to be very niggerish right now. Just warning. Fuck you. Fuck you. Back to our regular scheduling program, okay?
Right.
I mean,
it's not just a Flint. Yeah. It's not just a Flint thing. How do y'all feel about when you think it's more of a racism or class thing when it comes to the award shows nowadays?
It's both. I mean, it's class and race.
Or let me rephrase: Hollywood.
I'm gonna put it. I'm actually gonna go with the non-applicable status with that because it's my thing. When it comes to the Grammys, when it comes to the Oscars, those are not our award shows.
Of course,
other people made our award shows. Like I actually thought that with us actually creating, BET, with us, having, the NAACP Image Awards, with us having the Soul Train Awards, those are more of our awards. And ever since we actually found out, especially with the Grammys, how they vote, the fact that it's not just hip hop specialists voting in the best hip hop category. Pretty much anybody that got a vote can have a chance at voting, no matter what genre they listen to or whatever. If you're a voter, you can't listen to it. When it comes to the Oscars, it is one of those instances where, yes, maybe there is some kind of prejudice, even going to the fact that there's some kind of racism there. However, we do have to also think about it like this. Like, I love Straight Outta Compton. Did I necessarily think that Straight Outta Compton was an Oscar-worthy movie? No. I know the NWA story, and it felt great to me to actually relive those times because that actually came about in a period when I first actually started, learning about rap music because I'm an 80s baby. And there is some validity by saying that with, the other categories, as far as, the other movies that were in those categories, as far as the other actors, actresses, directors that were in those categories, screenplay writers. Yeah. I didn't see all the movies that were fucking nominated, so I really don't have a good fucking gauge on what should win and what should not win. So that's where I do think that where it may be some, it's still not something that can be correctly measured as long as we know that a lot of the people that are actually spectators of that, they're not really watching all of those shows, and they're not really caring about what happens in the Oscars until a Jada Pinkett Smith actually mentions the fact that
But when
the
you
Oscars
have,
aren't really giving
but
too
when you
much
have what
love to
happened,
black
what
folks.
last year when what was it? The movie Selma came out right at the end, and nobody really gave tried to give like the person who produced. It was a black producer. You had black actors in it, and everybody was trying to. The Oscars didn't really show the love they needed to the movie, even though it was directed very good. It did
Not
very
to,
well in the box office.
not to cut you off, but you saw Selma?
I haven't seen it.
You have not seen it.
I haven't
Okay.
seen it.
Did you see it?
I fell asleep on it.
Okay,
I was tired. I wasn't bored. I was just tired.
I saw it in its entirety. I did not think that the actor that played Selma was my Martin Luther King.
Or actors?
The actor
that played Martin Luther
that
King.
played Martin Luther King was really like my kind of Martin Luther King. I also thought that, like, as far as the movie goes, while it was good directing, it wasn't necessarily great directing.
It's good. But hold on. But you gotta understand something. If you don't have the same resources as Steven Spielberg, what are you supposed to do?
No, real, because, like I said, I'm just putting all this out there since I actually watched it and everything like that. When it comes to that, like, I think also what kind of kills it when you have an autobiographical, I mean, not but a biographical story about somebody that was so famous, somebody where there's been numerous books and numerous movies already made about him. It's almost like it does kind of water down what's going on. Therefore, a lot of people that are watching it actually feel like they've seen it before, and that actually does hurt the effect of the movie itself. I just wanted to say that before you jump.
I'm gonna say, look at how George Lucas directed a movie that no other production company and director, wanted to direct when it was talking about African Americans in the war and flying planes. I think it was Red Tails.
Yeah, Red Tails.
Yeah,
Red Tails. He didn't get no award to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, but
I mean that was a pretty good movie.
It was pretty good.
Now that was
he didn't get no award.
And to me, that was actually a better movie than Summer.
He sees the problem in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's why he decided, because I think, if I remember correctly, they were trying to go to a bunch of different companies to get them to endorse, direct, put some
green light it.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to do it, but he's like, yo, what the? Which is why within the new Star Wars, one of the main characters is what?
Black guy.
Because he felt like it's
matter of fact, it goes back to our sexism. What's the name? There were stories that came out because in the spoiler alert, anybody who hasn't seen Star Wars.
This shit came out like fucking
still a
year ago. So no. This is my thing, right?
A year ago.
No, a year ago.
Okay, I'm exaggerating, but you get my fucking point.
But look,
if the Star Wars movie came out and you weren't one of the fucking 500 billion people that already fucking saw this fucking movie, shut the fuck up.
Some people haven't. But look,
fuck you. I'm sorry.
The main character was a woman.
Mm-hmm. Oh, technically, yeah.
The main character was a woman. Okay, they didn't make no toys for the girl for her action figure.
You're right.
And
they didn't make any action figures other than BB-8.
No, they made like the dude. They made a couple of other things.
I didn't know, but I only know the biggest one that was selling was BB-8. So
no.
I just want to let y'all know they're talking about the Star Wars movie and they're talking about Star Wars in general. I'm yawning right now. We're going.
But look,
fuck.
But look,
I'm not judging y'all. I'm not even judging. I'm just saying Star Wars
judge us either. At least not right now.
I'm not judging y'all. Y'all are fans. I'm just not a fan.
The point of the story is they didn't make no female action figure for the one that was the main character of the movie because they had already shipped everything. They didn't think that the woman character was going to be popular enough.
Oh wow.
There was a whole bunch of stories that came up about that. The toy companies had already shipped their stuff. They didn't include the woman, the main character, which is a woman, in the movie Didn't include her.
Now, here's a question, right? Matter of fact, I have two questions. One right after this one. Mm-hmm. Then the main character in the Star Wars movie was Princess Leia. Am I correct?
No.
Who was the main character?
It was Luke's child. Yeah, I think his daughter.
His daughter.
Yeah. Okay. It was Luke's daughter and the black dude. They were actually the two.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying because I haven't seen it, so I'm just trying to make sure.
What was the guy doing there? I can't remember. I know his name.
The black dude that was supposed to be like a stormtrooper or something.
Yeah. Actually, that was a pretty good role. He did actually pretty daggone.
I know because I know some people did make a big stink because like it was like a scene where she was like running. And like he was like they were both running. He was like, "Oh yeah, grab my hand."
He's like, "What you keep grabbing my hand for?"
Like I can run by myself, and people were like, "Hey, shit, this shit is fucking amazing." It's like you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put 2 fucking feet together and run. Like is that? See, that's my problem that I have as far as it comes to sexism. When it comes to sexism, you know, we should all have like the same opportunities and the same. You know, privileges and the same rewards.
But it's double standards with that too.
But this is my thing though. Like, but see, this is my thing, right? I don't celebrate people when they do shit that they're supposed to do. A woman's supposed to run. Are we supposed to celebrate the director or the writer or the actress or whoever just because they actually played a good role? It's almost like the girl in the horror movie that doesn't fuck anybody. And she lives to the end. It's like are we celebrating that, or was she just not supposed to fuck anybody? Because if you know hold on real quick, because if you know that in a horror movie, if you shut the fuck up, because if you know that this motherfucking Jason had already killed everybody at Camp Crystal Lake the fucking year before, and you know that he killed everybody while they were fucking.
Why go back there?
If you've already seen him come back the year after and kill 2 motherfuckers while they were fucking, and then you're gonna fuck, you're probably gonna get killed again. So then it's like, well, you know, I'm just not gonna fuck. You're probably gonna live. Is that such a fucking big revelation? No. The chick can run, okay.
But see, here's the thing.
She's supposed to fucking run.
No, but here's the thing. You have to understand, like, if you go back 20, 30, 40 years ago, anytime there was a horror movie or whatever, you know, what's the first thing that happened? A woman, she's running, but she all of a sudden trips on this mysterious stick on the ground, and then she gets caught.
Well, that was because they were
always something similar like that was going on.
That was because they were trying to tell young girls, don't fuck. Like don't have premarital sex.
Don't do drugs. And don't.
That's what it is. They were trying to create. So that's my whole point with it all is that. What happens a lot of the times in these movies with these various images, it's not that the person that doesn't do it is so heroic. It's just that the person that's doing it is doing what they're supposed to do. Because every dude wants to tell their daughter, don't fuck until you're married, this, and the third.
But it doesn't happen.
But it doesn't happen. That's my whole point. So what it is that they're breathing propaganda into the children because this is how this young lady is supposed to be. Like, you're not a lady, like, unless you do this. So, to me, it's like, you're not a fucking hero. You just doing what you're supposed to be doing. And I'm not going to be celebrating you over the top like other people do. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much.
Well, I mean, you think sexism is... Let's stick on sexism for a little bit. I think when it comes to that, there's some people that are just over aggressive with it, especially when it comes to the feminists. I'm 100% for backing up women's rights and everything, but I think sometimes some feminists go too far. And there's feminists that even say, okay, look, you're being ridiculous, you're getting out of control, you're making this worse for us.
All I have to do is say this. If you're fucking a bunch of guys, you should understand. Not even saying this right, but you should understand when somebody calls you a slut. When I fuck a bunch of girls, somebody's going to call me a slut. I have to understand. When it comes to if you're a feminist or if you're somebody that practices women's rights or something like that, or you feel like women should be powerful human beings and they should make choices on their own. I know than when it comes to my nieces now, or when it comes in the future. If I have a daughter, I don't want, excuse me, a young girl necessarily imitating a Cardi B. I know I don't want a young girl imitating a Jocelyn.
Mm.
I know I don't want a young girl imitating even a Rihanna or Beyonce with the way that they dress sometimes. Kim Kardashian, all that, like Amber Rose. But see, the thing about it is that part of the whole movement is that they feel like if they feel like they shouldn't be held under the old constructs of what we held them as, where you have to be ladylike and you have to be respectful and this, that, and the third. Like, you also can't go out the fucking window either. If a girl fucks one guy and you call her a slut, she's not a slut. If a girl fucks 60 dudes,
and how long of a time period?
60 minutes.
That sounds like a world record. But outside of that,
Right. But pretty much with that, she's a slut. Now, me being a man,
wait, does she know these
put me,
dudes?
but put me, huh?
Does she know these?
No, it doesn't matter. It
Okay.
does not matter. If you fuck 60 people in 60 seconds, you're a slut. Just like me, as a guy, as a man, if I fuck 60 girls in 60 minutes, and if I do, god damn, I have no endurance whatsoever. But if I do, I'm a slut too. So you can't. So I kind of think to.
But no, there's double standards.
No, right?
There's always gonna be double standards, no matter.
No. But here's the thing. It's double standards more on the women's side than it is on the guy's side, because
right.
If you analyze it from this standpoint right here, number one, guys, we just don't care.
No. But
we
see,
don't care.
But see, this is where the better argument is.
Right.
But see, this is what the better argument is. The better argument is that, well, if I fuck 3 guys as a girl, and if a guy
you clean that up very fast.
Yeah, and if a guy fucks 3 girls, if I'm the slut, he's the slut. But if I fuck 100 guys
as a girl.
Yes, please say it. Add it in.
Because first of all, I wasn't even most in the gender, because I had already got past that point with the genders.
Okay, sure
if I fuck 60 guys and if he fucks 60 girls, if you're considering that guy as a slut, then I'm the slut too. You can't just say, whoa, you know. But you can't call this guy. Well, if you don't call this guy a slut, this and the third, well then I'm not a slut either. No, just don't fucking commit slutty behavior.
Everybody's a whore. It's just a matter of
don't commit slutty behavior.
No.
The reason why I'm saying that is because that's not a better argument.
It's not a better argument. Here's the thing. It's about 2 totally different systems. If from a guy's point of view, a guy going around having
pretty much what I'm saying is that if the number is too little, then yeah, that's out of fucking line. Because why it's slut. But if you're fucking putting up slut numbers as a guy or a girl that cannot be defended, it does not matter.
Okay, but
don't be that. Don't do that.
Matter. But from a woman's world,
you want your daughter fucking 60 dudes?
I don't want her
by the age of 20.
Dog, if I could figure out a way to put a chastity belt on and sew that shit.
Don't do that because then she's gonna fuck 70 dudes. Don't. But
I'm just saying, hey, if I was a father, that's what I want to do. If you have a daughter, I mean, ask some of our friends.
Right.
But sitting outside with shotguns, talking about make my daughter cry. You gonna have
do all that, but the best thing to do is just to teach her from a young age, from day one. Just teach her, hey, look, you're a princess. You're gonna meet a prince, but until y'all are married, where he becomes your king.
I disagree with that part. I know where you're going.
Just listen to me. That's when all that. If you actually instill this in them, as they get older, trust me, they will listen.
They're gonna make the right decision, or they're not.
No, even if they don't make the right decision, they'll learn. Hopefully, depending on if you
see. The thing is you do teach somebody. You do teach your child the way that you need to go, but you also the thing that what a lot of people don't teach their children, especially now, is to never be afraid to make mistakes.
Of course,
no. A lot of people are afraid to make mistakes. Look, in life, you're going to make mistakes. But people don't want to. People don't want to because guess what? They feel like they're failures.
Right.
But you learn
no. But see, this is pretty much the point I'm making, right? I lost my virginity at the age of 15, and yes, I was a man. Yes, I was a guy. Okay, this isn't hypothetical. This is real. I lost my virginity when I was 15. So if one of my nieces lost their virginity when they were 15 or 16, could I really be that mad at them?
No.
Are they the slut if I wasn't a slut?
No.
Pretty much what I'm saying is that there are some things where a girl is classified as a slut when a guy is not.
And
But right, and what I'm saying is that now there's some slutty behavior that's just indefendable on either side. So you can't. Hold on.
I need to say this. Because here's the thing. When you talk about slutty behavior, so if a guy can
100 guys, if I can fuck 100 girls and I'm the man, and they can fuck 100 guys and they can be a slut, no, that's wrong.
What do you mean for the woman?
Yes.
No. Hey, guess what?
That's wrong for the woman. We're both sluts.
That's what y'all.
That's what I'm saying. What saying. We're both sluts.
Okay, but
what I'm saying is that the better argument isn't to be like, well, you're not calling him a slut for fucking 100 girls, so I'm gonna fuck 100 guys, and you shouldn't call me a slut either. No, the better thing to do is to just fuck 2 or 3.
Okay, but
the better thing to do is even if somebody the better thing to do is to make somebody look stupid. Make somebody look stupid for calling you a slut for fucking 2 guys. By the time you're 22, then you fucking 100 guys by the age of 22, and you trying to say, well, he's not a slut, so I'm not a slut.
No.
You did not see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. My thing is
I'm just saying that's a harder argument to make.
Getting rid of the whole label as it is.
No, you can't get rid of the label
because in the guy culture, the label doesn't even carry no water. I mean, it carries nothing.
No. Guys don't care about it.
Yeah, we don't.
Guys don't care. We can get called a slut all day. We just don't care about it.
We will. We'll be like, they can call a slut.
That's not saying that label doesn't exist for guys. We just don't give a shit about it.
What's that go song from UCB? Because I'm a hoe. You know I'm a hoe. I thought you knew that. Fuck these bitches at every show.
And I just got excited about saying that.
And look, girls are dancing to the joint with them.
And they're dancing with us.
And they're like, wait a minute, you dancing? Okay, well, whatever.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sorry, that cannot be defended. You look stupid. Like, I'm sorry. Does everybody in this room right now, hold on, does everybody in this room right now not agree that the fucking slut walk that Amber Rose spearheaded, that shit didn't look fucking stupid?
Never seen it.
I thought
it looks stupid because if you're a girl,
trying to go
because it's like you know, it's like trying to make the N-word cool. Like it's to a point right now where it's like I don't even really sound cool saying it. I sound ignorant saying it. I do say it, but I sound ignorant saying it, trying to say, well, you know.
Well, here's the interesting double standard to that.
I'm making the word cool.
Here's the interesting double standard to that. So flip it. How is it that if a girl cries, screams, rape, everybody's like, "Oh my God, we have to help her and everything."
But if you're a dude,
but if you're a guy,
hey, your dick got hard. You didn't get raped. Your dick got hard.
Excited, but no, he got raped. No, he couldn't get raped as a guy. Can't guys fight out other guys?
You see this right here. You see this right here.
Too strong to get raped.
Right here. See these 2 guys live here. I don't. With me doing what I'm doing, drinking and all that stuff, and traveling home. Motherfucker, act like the goddamn address on the tip.
I'm waiting to see what you about to say. That's all.
But if I travel and I'm drunk and all this kind of shit, and if a girl picks me up and I'm inebriated, somebody would be like, well, you know, you weren't raped because your dick got hard. But yet I was inebriated. She was sober.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
She picked me up.
What he's saying
but because of the fact that my dick got hard, all of a sudden it's not rape.
What he's saying is this. I think the police say that if a girl is drunk and the guy is sober and he has sex with her, that's considered rape.
Nigga, if we're both drunk.
Oh, I'm not done.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
If a guy is drunk and a girl's drunk and they have sex, the guy still can get charged for rape. But if the guy is drunk and the girl's sober and they have sex, the girl doesn't get charged for rape. It's consensual. But here's the
because I
interesting
fucking
thing.
It's hard
because
to
I
rate the
fucking
women.
dick got hard.
Here's the
It's
interesting
hard to
thing.
rate the women.
Remember the story I
I've
showed
got
you?
raped a couple of times by some fucking chicks I ain't want to fuck.
Remember the story I showed you that happened with the dude passed out in the parking lot and he was drunk and his girlfriend rolled him and came on his dick. He was passed out, non-coherent. His dick was still hard. Our dick gets hard in sleep. The wind blows, gets hard. Snowflake, it gets hard. A ray of sunshine, it gets hard.
Nigga, I think it's hard because it's a Tuesday.
You know, for no reason.
No reason at all.
Honestly, there's some reason. Sometimes we cannot control it. It just happens. This dude's passed out. It's
Teenage
and she's
boners
like,
are
okay.
even worse.
Well, I want to
Like,
have.
you just walk up to the chalkboard and like, please solve this problem. Not today, teacher.
Why the fuck?
But
Why
that's what I'm saying.
the fuck do you think a lot of teenagers beat off like they did? Nigga, you had to get that shit down. You had to fucking get the fucking blood out of there. What are you talking about?
But that's what I'm saying. He was passed out drunk. She was drunk. She rolled. She got charged. They recognized the fact he was passed out. His dick was still hard. And she got off on that. So why is it that if it happens to somebody else, not in that type of instance where they say I was raped? Yes, I may have gotten hurt.
Because it's societal.
There's been dudes that got raped in prison.
So we shouldn't break that societal culture?
Listen to this. There's dudes that got raped in prison and on the street by another dude. And you know what they said?
I'm sorry, you lost a fight. Because I'm not going down without a fight.
I'm just saying.
Somebody's getting killed.
One of the questions they asked.
Understand, my Brazilian jiu-jitsu skills will come out real quick.
One of the questions.
You have broken limbs before that happens.
Hey, if I gotta punch a nigga square in the nuts,
would you break his dick?
Huh? I'm not even gonna go that far. He'll be a little
walking.
You know what?
Your ass.
He probably bite a nigga dick off. He's probably one of them type of niggas, man. He probably bite a nigga dick off.
But anyway, no, I'm gonna say this.
Why does it always go south? And I don't even take it that way, you bastards.
But what I was gonna say is this. There's been cases, and I've looked up these cases because I was interested. Why is it that a girl can get raped and it's rape, and the guy gets raped like, oh no, you wanted it, you liked it, type shit. And there was cases where the police officers, they talked to the dude. The dude was heterosexual, but he was crying because of the fact that while he was being raped, he what? Ejaculated. Why do you think that happened? He was being raped, but it was still what's it called? Stimulating.
Yeah.
His prostate.
That's just like how the girls have
That doesn't mean he liked it.
Well, he might have liked it, but it wasn't his choice to have it.
Okay, no. I remember that when
No.
If you ever get raped, we'll have that conversation. You like the nigga.
I'm not getting raped.
Don't. You better knock on wood. You better knock on wood, nigga.
This ain't wood.
This is wood. You better knock on wood.
I ain't gonna front, nigga. I already told y'all already. We already had a show about this nigga. I might kill myself if that happens.
He won't tell nobody. Why does
kill himself? Kill himself or kill me or
you know what? Them. Now that you told us, if this nigga kills himself, you have to.
You already know what happened.
Yo.
He told himself.
You already know what happened.
I've already done it. But
caption is gonna be underneath Facebook. And he committed suicide. You already know what happened.
But just to kind of get it back to a serious thing, like we ain't trying to run too much time up.
Yeah.
First of all, can you get the bid for me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good looking out. You might as well go ahead and finish off the last one as well. But I do want to speak on the Flint water crisis myself because I do think that unfortunately, because I'm the type of individual where I always try to understand things from all sides. I do think that there is a bit of outrage going, and I do think that there's a bit of outrage going at what I'm saying because of the fact that Flint, Michigan is thought of as mostly black, and I do believe that people think that, when it comes to, you being black or you being poor, that's the only way that you would actually have dirty water or whatever the fuck that shit is. Matter of fact, this fucking beer is lighter than that fucking water that was coming out of that Flint faucet.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? But
look, they took advantage. Of it's a 2-part process, really.
I was going to address something though because this is the thing.
It's in a very non-rich neighborhood. Just so happened to have black people that was in it that were poor. It's like one of those. If you go there, you start stepping down the ladder. You go, dang, it's a very poor neighborhood, but also it has a lot of black folks in it.
Right. But this is what I was addressing though. Because of course, like let's say like in the area that you guys live in, not going to disclose it, but in the area that you guys live in. Now, let's say that there was some housing issues going on with some affluent white folks. And when I say housing issues, that can be apartment, that can be condo, that can be house, whatever the fuck you have. It almost kind of seems like we get the idea, we get the notion that they actually do fear certain people because they have a certain influence. They feel like they almost have like a certain power. When it comes to people that live like that, like I've heard stories of like, like the project buildings like in New York, like for the people that I know that live there. And they say, well, most of the people, most of the developers and most of the landlords, they feel like, well, if the tenants piss in their own fucking hallways, why the fuck are we gonna fix up their apartments? Why the fuck are we gonna mop up their piss? Why the fuck are we gonna fix their elevators? Saying when they're fucking up their own elevators. So of course the idea behind it all is that if you're affluent, that what's gonna happen is that you're gonna know how to counteract that. You're gonna know to sue. You're gonna know to get the right lawyers. You're gonna know to go to the right forums to really get your voices heard when it comes to poor people, whether it be black, white, Hispanic, whatever the case may be. When it comes to poor people, we're not always going to know that type of etiquette.
Right.
We might share some things on some memes on social media, but
So you
we're
don't know
not
the
going
right
to.
I
channels
call
to
bullshit
go.
on that.
No,
one.
no, no, no. That's what I'm saying.
But that comes back
yeah.
around to the education.
Yeah,
level.
but real quick,
I
I'm
still call
addressing that.
bullshit because we live in most of the people that live where we live are either in the military, police, or have really good jobs. And somebody still pisses in the hallway like we in the damn ghetto.
Hey, it's gonna happen.
They let their dog shit all over the place, not picking it up, where you can accidentally step on it. I think it's more
And
about
y'all heard my opinion on dogs already.
Shut up. It's based on the person, personally.
No, it is. A lot of it is based on the person, but the thing is,
but it's already a preconceived notion going in.
It's more
when it comes to these developers and landlords, and that's why I feel like in this situation, because of course Michael Moore was saying that this is pretty much murder. I feel like this. We know that there's first degree murder, there's second degree murder. There's different levels of murder. There's premeditated murder, and then there's manslaughter, and there's all those other kind of things. When you say that, well, you know what, we're losing out on money. When you as a government say, well, hey, instead of us just losing all our money and possibly going bankrupt like Detroit, we're gonna try to save costs where we can. So we're gonna get water from a dirty river. We're also in such a rush to do this to save money that we're not gonna check the pipes.
It wasn't so much them checking the pipes.
I'm sorry,
what? They didn't check. They didn't treat the water.
No, but see, this is the thing though. You have two things to do. Number one, you check the water, see how the water is, then you know that you should treat the water. Number two, you also check the pipes, because if the pipes are dirty, no matter how fucking clean the water is or how you treat the water, if the pipes are down, you actually have to fucking. It got to it's to a point with Flint right now where they have to replace the fucking pipes.
Oh yeah, now to the point. But what ended up happening there was it wasn't so much as it was the pipes. They didn't treat the water before the water went into the pipes, which caused it to become corrosive and let the lead. Because you had a lot of lead piping in the area.
Right, but pretty much what I'm saying. Well, pretty much my whole point is that there's engineers, there's people from from the EPA, from the FDA that do check these things out. So you're pretty much going to know what due diligence you have to actually put forth once you check the water, and then you also check the pipes. You're actually checking to see how much and how long. Do me a favor, check that cord, and also check the cord in the fucking.
No problem.
Nah, just check, because as soon as you put it in, then then the light gonna pop up. No, not that one. In the back.
There's nothing in the back.
There you go. Boom. It was that one right there. Okay, now we're good. Thank you. Sorry about that, people. But anyway, but anyway, like, you're supposed to actually check all that stuff before you even put that plan into action.
But
it's pretty much what I'm saying. So what happens is that number one, some people just feel like it's just an oversight, and this, that, and the third. And then we was also listening to a show when they were saying, well, I don't think that it was premeditated murder and this, that, and the third. But I feel like if you, as a government, make a conscious plan to say, well, we're gonna care about trying to save money in 2 years versus these motherfuckers dying.
What are they doing when they do that? They're only looking at what the pros, not the cons.
Exactly, they're looking at the pros and not the cons. And if you don't even look at the cons whatsoever, I do think
negligence.
that is fucking, that's at least negligence. And the thing about the thing about negligence or manslaughter, we still think of it as murder because a life is being lost. It might not be first. Right, and that's what I said. Like that's why that's
a lot of mental
right, and that's why I was mentioning, the first degree, the manslaughter, this and the third. I think that some people, when they're discussing this, are too literal with certain terms. I think with something like this, you can't be so literal with every fucking term. Allow those laws. It doesn't matter if it's fucking first degree, second degree, manslaughter, criminal negligence.
Here's the thing. It's difficult to try to pin.
I'm sorry.
It's gonna be kind of.
It ain't difficult.
Because here's the thing. Right now, one of the things that's starting to happen is now. When did the governor and the governorship find out that the water in Flint was poisonous?
But this is the thing.
Now,
they said worse than initially thought. Which
how many documentaries were done, whether it was independently or not?
Because the people that lived there knew about it already.
They knew about it. There was protests going on way.
There were protests, but
a year and a half before. Why did he change it a year and a half to 2 years?
Because he was being naive to the fact.
No. I don't think he was being naive. No, I don't think he was being naive. I think that he was really thinking about a short-term plan, and this is what I was going to finish that up with. Because in the show, he was saying, well, so he's really going to care about the next 2 years, trying to save money versus all of these people, saying suing with lawsuits and potentially losing more money. I'm like, this is the thing. These are politicians. Now, these are people that we do vote into political offices. However, they're still human as well. How many times has a motherfucker said, well, you know what? I'm not going to pay this bill right now.
But I bet they still trying to charge him for dirty water.
Oh, they still trying to bill. I'm not going to pay this bill right now. Oh, fuck it. If anything, I'm going to let this shit get cut off. If I'm in a better position, I'll start paying this shit again. That's a situation that can leave you in a bad financial state. Whereas you could have possibly saved, you could have possibly managed your money better, and you could have prevented yourself from getting to that point.
But see,
so when it comes to the government officials, if they look at individual people and they say, well, if you get into a bad spot, you might have got into a bad spot, but you should manage your money better to prevent these things from going on. Shouldn't we also expect the same thing from the political officials?
Yeah, we should, but it doesn't happen.
That's my whole point. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether they intentionally did it. They made bad decisions. They didn't follow through with the plan as efficiently as they could. So yes, they have to have some fucking blame. We can't just say that, oh well, they didn't mean to murder people. They didn't mean to poison people. They should have no fucking blame.
It's just like when doctors.
That's what criminal negligence is. It's not even saying that, well, you intentionally murdered somebody, but you had a hand in their death.
Just like somebody that went. Well, the robbery was supposed to happen like this. Well, didn't people die still? Weren't people hurting?
Yeah. Somebody breaks in your fucking house.
Well, guess what?
If somebody breaks in your house and you end up dying,
that's true. But what I'm saying is especially what's going on there now is how we don't quite know we didn't know to the extent of the problem. We didn't think it was gonna be this big. But then right now the biggest damning thing. That I'm just saying.
You're speaking from their perspective,
right? I'm speaking from their perspective. So now the biggest thing that's coming out of Flint now is when did they know about it? So they found
they knew about it because he drank his own water.
Wait. Think of the thing. So as all these protests was going on, like representatives from the mayor, from the governors, comes to Flint. Guess what they started doing? They started shipping water to the state house where the government officials were going to be at prior to everything going national. So they were like, well, why are you shipping bottles of water to the problem area if there's not a problem?
Now,
so when in the government, who in the government was like, yo, I'm not gonna take a chance of going there. You want me to go there? Like, let's say you got contractors and people who work for the government, and they're like, well, I don't want to go there. The water's bad. When did they know the water was bad? The question is when did you know the water was bad and start shipping water?
But before you get in, because I'm gonna say it because once again, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You got a daughter. Let's say your daughter is 6 years old. I raped your daughter.
You sound real hard right now.
I raped your daughter, and I'm not saying that I fumbled around, I tickled the lips. No, I really raped your fucking daughter. Insertion, fucking coming. I did that to your fucking daughter. Your daughter was messed up in the head for the next 2 years. She killed her fucking self, dog. I'm still on trial for this shit. I ain't even went to jail. I don't even have a sentence yet. I don't even have a conviction, a verdict yet. Motherfucker, do you give a damn whether I was crazy? Whether I intentionally did it? Whether I was mentally unstable? Do you care?
I don't
care. Do you care?
No.
That's my fucking point. See, with us trying to answer all these questions.
No, I'm sorry.
With us trying to answer all these questions, I don't give a fuck what it was.
You
dropped the ball.
You can't go cut and dry like that.
Yes, I can.
You can.
Yes, I fucking can.
No.
When Liza lost,
when that situation right there,
your job as a political official
right there,
is to handle that shit.
It's cut and dry.
Well, it's not you gotta prevent stuff from happening.
You gotta prevent stuff. If you didn't do a good enough job of preventing stuff, that's in your job.
Perfect example. Where we work right now, could they have not prevented a lot of the bullshit that's going on there?
They could have.
That's the point we're making.
With police brutality. Hold on. With police brutality. I don't give a fuck. Like, what happened when a fucking life gets lost? I don't give a fuck. Like, see. The part that's not cut and dry, once again, was whether it was first degree murder, whether it was second degree murder, whether it's manslaughter, whether it's negligence. That's the part that's not cut and dry. What's the part that's cut and dry? Lives were lost. Whether you intentionally put the fucking dirty water out there for people to do that, or you didn't plan ahead of time to do it, you are at fault. I don't give a fuck. You're at fault. So when people the issue with me is when people aren't saying these guys are at fault no matter what. They're trying to figure out, well, how are they at fault? And it's to the point now that they're trying to argue why they're at fault, to the point that they're saying, well, maybe they're not at fault. Fuck that.
No, it's about, and pardon the pun, muddy the water.
You slick bastard, you.
Hey, I try.
You fucking made me laugh and I was fucking upset. Really?
You had to be the butthole. Go ahead.
But that's what they're doing. If you can add enough cloud in the sky, nobody can ever see what the sun look like.
That's why I don't fucking look at the cloud. I look at what it is. That's the okie doke that they trying to pull.
Because there's so many gears in government. There's so many gears in government. You don't know which gear hiccup
real quick
without going through and trying to figure out which one it was.
And
then on top of that hiccup could have just came from some random oversight.
But real quick, when it comes to police brutality, when they actually accuse and charge a cop with first degree murder, most of the time that means premeditated murder.
Yeah, he thought about it before he did it.
But this is the thing: how sure can you be that he thought about it? Because see, when most people think premeditated murder, and this is juries that we're talking to, they're going in with a preconceived notion that premeditated murder is that we're here at the podcast right now. We talking about this bitch ass nigga that we don't fucking like, man. We like, man, fuck that nigga Teddy, whatever the fuck his name is. We actually make a plan, and we say, and you say,
talk about before you finish. His name had to be Teddy though.
Who likes Teddy?
I mean,
what Teddy you know is likable?
The realest Teddy was Pendergrass. But anyway, but except for Pendergrass. And even he used to, like, God rest his soul, but he was in some shit too. But when it comes to that, it's like, we went out, like, we actually, like, planned, drew the blueprints up. We gonna see this motherfucker at 6:40 p.m. at the fucking Einstein Rose Bagels. Because we know that he goes there every day for his fucking coffee and his bagel. And we're going to fucking, when he comes out, we're going to be like around the corner. And then we're going to jump out and we're going to kill this motherfucker. That's what a lot of people think that premeditated murder is. People don't think that premeditated murder is in a split second, you holding a gun up, a motherfucker said something to make you mad, and then you shot him. That you thought about it, that it was premeditated. That wasn't a fucking reaction. You didn't like what that motherfucker said. You wanted to assert your authority, and then you shot him. Pretty much my whole point is that it's harder to convict somebody in that situation with premeditated murder versus a manslaughter versus a negligence. So when you charge them with that, it's almost like a lot of times it's like a cop out for the cops.
Yeah, it is
because that's the hardest thing to prove.
I mean, it's the hardest thing to prove.
And the thing about it is that a lot of juries don't even know that they can actually look at and listen to the testimonials, and they can actually say, well, you know what? This isn't that.
But you saw what happened with Trayvon Martin.
But maybe
like they charged him with what was it? Second degree murder.
But what I'm saying is that
he get charges.
No.
Yeah, he did. They
charged him, but they didn't know. They didn't convict him with that.
But instead of the prosecutor going for manslaughter, because
that's my whole point. The only charge that they only went with pretty much they only went with the charge that we couldn't really prove. And there
were so many ways to prove it.
But
his defensive team.
I know his defensive team was terrible.
No defense.
His prosecution team was terrible in that. But this is my whole thing. It's like without video evidence, with this, that, and the third, we as a jury. Hold on. Hold on. When it comes to a jury, listen, this is what comes to a jury. A jury of your peers. These ain't motherfuckers that's just studying law. Hold on. I know. I'm not trying to argue that right now. I'm not trying to argue that. I already feel like that was fucked up. I'm just saying that if it was just a jury of your peers, what I'm saying is that it's not like they're picking juries that went to law school, that study law, and this and the third. I was on a jury once. I was on none of that shit. I was on a jury once. Like when it came to, I was like an alternate juror at the end of it, but I heard like the whole testimony and the whole thing. Trial, yeah. But pretty much what I'm saying is that I was a juror. I don't have no fucking, I don't have no fucking law degree or nothing like that. These are regular people. So what happens is that everybody's not going to know. You're not even going to explain to them. And even when you do explain to them, well, yeah, if you feel like it's another type of thing that that doesn't look right.
No, it's a Homer Simpson move.
That doesn't look right. But anyway, when it comes to that shit, it's like, what they try to do is that a lot of the times they will try to charge you with the hardest crime
first,
and then it starts trickling down. And if you don't like do like the other charges, like how with Jordan Davis, how they charge attempted murder as well as first degree murder. They didn't get him with the first degree, but they got him with the attempted.
Yeah.
So when you just do one or two different types of counts, that's hard to prove. It's almost like a cop out.
Well, they know that.
And this is like how Flint, Michigan is right now. It's like people are trying to argue. That's my whole problem with people. Period. We're trying to argue how much at fault they are, motherfucker. They're at fault. Period.
Yep.
That's how I feel with it.
Ain't no
because that's what we're trying to do. Because what we're doing is we're falling for the okie doke. We're trying to get the largest charges ever. Where you think that if fucking Governor Rick Snyder was on trial, that we could fucking really convict him on premeditated murder? You know how fucking hard that would be?
Yeah. No, but hey, the thing is
charge him with negligence. Charge him with manslaughter.
If that was an affluent
because what you're supposed to do?
That was an affluent neighborhood. That whole neighborhood would have sued the government right then.
Again, was that fall under the class? Yeah.
It would have been a class action lawsuit against them right now.
Right.
It wouldn't look.
They wouldn't be paying that fucking water bill.
Real quick, what's the percentage? I think 0.09% are what, billionaires in this country?
You talking about my BAC or you talking about billionaires?
Yeah. And then if you go down there to the rich,
blood alcohol content.
Oh.
But if you want to go
Well,
to
see,
the other
that's why
rich
you
people,
got Kool-Aid in your cup and nothing else.
you're gonna go to the other people
Like
that are rich.
Kool-Aid.
You're making a smart decision, but
That
I
make
don't even doing it because
$500,000 or more. I think it's a little higher, but it's still a small number. Meaning, throughout the whole United States, the majority of us, I would say 97% of us, don't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, you see what happened in Flint. I mean, that just didn't. They didn't.
That's
matter.
why I rock with Bernie Sanders, because he ain't trying to put up with
Let's call it what it is. Flint, Michigan is another Tuskegee experiment.
And that's not the only place that's going through this problem right now.
No,
in the
it's
United
not.
States. So many more cities.
Because it's about because what are a lot of politicians' viewpoint?
If you're not giving to my campaign, I don't give a fucking shit about you.
Well, yeah, but I wasn't talking about that.
But not that.
Is that you can't make an omelet without
breaking
breaking a couple of eggs. And the people in Flint, Michigan, they would have a couple of eggs that could have been spared to be broken.
Truth.
That's what it is, bottom line. Yeah. And that's what it is most of the time with classism. I know, but we're dealing with capitalism as a whole. We're dealing with capitalism that actually breeds the survival of the fittest thing from an economic standpoint.
Fittest nuts.
The fuck, yo. But that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the survival of the fittest. Period. So because of that, you know, so because of that, of course they're always not gonna mind breaking a couple of fucking eggs.
Of course not.
But they'll break them into less achieved areas.
As long as they're fucking testing shampoo on monkeys.
That's what we are.
Yeah.
Anybody that's not in that 3%, it's pretty much. And it's
we're fucking monkeys.
We're the monkeys.
We're the fucking guinea pigs.
Who do you think is going to Mars right now? Well, who is going to Mars right now?
Me, nigga.
You got the money to pay for that ticket? You know it's a one-way ticket, right?
That's why they're not paying for it.
Hey, that's why I'm about
No, you're right.
That's why I'm about
would you do it?
That's why I'm about to be.
That's a one-way ticket.
That's
Mr. Space and Science all the way more than me.
Hey, wait a second.
Has logic right now.
Pretty much he's saying that. If it was a round ticket, I'd be good. But hold on real quick though. Hold on real quick though. What if they got you that round ticket? That round ticket.
I might do it.
But that return ticket got
but you
delayed.
You do realize
what happened? That return ticket got delayed.
Sorry, this is a solar storm. We're not going to be able to fly you back. We know that you have.
We got asteroids and meteors and shit flying through the air. We're
5 hours of oxygen left in there.
And you know time and space compared to time here, you know what I'm saying, moves differently. So you're gonna be up there for like another 300 years.
What? If I could live 300 years, that's never gonna be a problem. But
that's space though.
I would be like my man in the movie in Martian talking about I'm about to science the shit out of it.
I haven't seen it. You saw it?
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to.
I honestly think that ancient Sumerian that aliens are ancient Sumerians that did not pretty much didn't die. They just went in space and they still living.
And on that note,
you've been watching the corner.
You are watching the corner, but let's go ahead, you know, do our conclusions and everything like that because I like to do that. Once again, when it comes to class, I mean, the thing we have to realize is that there is racism, there is classism, there is sexism. Of course,
they all are intertwined.
They all are intertwined because as long as they're isms, I mean, we like saying different isms, we like thinking different isms, we like breathing different isms. You know, racism and classism, that's one thing. Because everybody that's black isn't poor, everybody that's white is not rich. And when it comes to sexism, hey, I'm looking for a little sugar mama. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy.
He's looking for a silver fox and or cougar, just saying.
Silver fox!
Okay, I'll change that. Silver fox it is.
Yeah.
Well, look, my state on this is education will help you and lift you out of any problem that you have. So
you don't think
as long as you live your life in ignorant,
unless it's in Flint, Michigan, and they're not telling you what they're doing.
I would have fucking moved.
They're not telling you what they're doing though.
I would have.
They're not telling you.
I'm not gonna sit here putting water filters up here. I'm not.
Hold on.
You Britta, nigga.
No, I'm gone.
Fuck that shit, dog.
Britta couldn't help that.
No,
Britta could not fucking help that shit.
Matter of fact, yo, the filters they gave him can't even filter out all the lead that's in that water.
Because regular over the counter in the store filters don't filter out lead.
Yeah.
That's what the fucking city filter system is supposed to do. Now go ahead, make your piece.
Man. Whew.
Nigga, say your piece.
I agree with Edmund on education, but people have to come. I mean, I'm kind of buzzed, but education, along with everybody working together as a community, everybody working together, we have to stop separating everything, because if we don't stop separating everything, we're going to always be.
We have to be able to share ideas. We have to be able to just call it what it is. I think we spend too much time actually debating the level of something instead of just debating something, period.
Yeah.
You know, and that's my whole thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Bottom line.
Definitely agree.
But what I will say when it comes to Flint, Michigan, I do pray for those people out there.
Money been sent on my behalf. I already know. Not gonna send more.
Yeah, I sent like $3 up there. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna buy like 9 waters. You know
That's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to that, you know, we do have to open our minds. We have to be thinkers, because I do think that we do not spend enough time.
Problem solvers
and problem solvers as well. We spend too much time blaming and not enough time solving the problem. You know, that's the thing about the line. Like it's like me when I dated women, and there's been cases where they're crying about something, and they're like, well, you know, excuse me, they're like, look, I have nothing but pink pencils, but I want a fucking purple pencil. And it's like, yo, I'd be like, look, let me go out there and buy you a couple packs of purple pencils. No! I'm still crying about these pink pencils. I'm feeling a certain way. Can't you let me just be emotional? Can't you just let me just sit in this shit for a little bit?
Can't you just listen and not
try
to solve
listen
it?
to me and not solve everything? That was the sexist part of my conclusion. See, I'm calculating with everything I do.
He pulled me in.
I love y'all, but I hate y'all at the same time. And it's great and it's wonderful, you know what I'm saying? Because you women always keep me on my toes, always challenge me, always help me learn more, as I hope that you are learning more. But, you know, we have had another episode of The Corner. Our next one is going to be great, because by that time I'm going to actually have some new equipment. We're going to be talking about tech stuff. And I'm saying this on camera so that we don't turn away from this, so we don't change our mind, because our boy, he's a big tech head. I'm a big tech head as well. He's semi.
He's a destroyer of tech.
I'm not a destroyer of tech. Just because I dropped my phone doesn't mean I'm a destroyer of tech.
Look at his phone. I'm just saying. But that's here nor there.
God damn, Bill. See, I can cut my wrist on this shit. I can commit suicide with your phone, nigga.
The top part.
I can commit suicide with your phone, nigga.
I still don't know what happened, because I didn't bump this against anything. All I did was try to.
Spoken like a true nigga that dropped this shit. Spoken like a true nigga, cause dog, every time this motherfucker dropped this shit, they never know how he did it.
How did it happen?
No, how did it happen? Seriously, if I dropped it, I would have known I dropped it. Like, damn it, this is all your fault. But seriously, I did not drop it.
That's for our next episode.
That's for our next episode, though. You know what I'm saying? Because by then I should have my nice little GoPro Silver 4.
GoPro.
You know what I mean? It's been a minute, but you know, I'm trying to make a love affair with
male or
GoPro
female
products now. Yes, sir. But once again, you know what I'm saying? You're watching The Corner. This right here is your boy Cough Biz. Search Cough Biz. You're going to get all of my social media stuff. Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We do appreciate the people that have been giving us views.
But say something. Let us know what we can do better.
Let me know when I'm fucking up. I won't listen. But let me know.
I don't care if you call us a piece of black,
I'm
whatever.
I mean, we all dark as shit.
Just comment.
We dark as shit. I'm black as hell. I got a shirt that says no snitch assness.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, comment. Please comment. Don't just view. Leave likes. Give us an idea how we can make things better. If that involves bringing y'all into the show, or you pop up and give your opinions, hey, we're down with that. And we respect all opinions.
And all I'm gonna say is this. And all I'm gonna say is this, ladies, because I was kind of sick a couple days last week. You know what I mean? Valentine's Day is coming up in a couple of weeks, and I do need a lady that's gonna be down for me if it's a situation where I get sick and I, you know what I'm saying, I have to be nursed back to health. Please help me.
So you're looking
is
for
he
a head
planning
nurse.
on?
Please help me.
So you're looking for a head nurse.
Hey, whatever you want to call it. Whatever it is you want to call it.
All right.
But I just want to let you know
Wow.
that I'm here for you.
Well,
I'll be the nigga in Boys and Men that talk and don't sing. I'll be
here
that
you go
nigga.
with that bull.
I'll be it. I'll be
You know
that
what?
dude for you.
It's your boy Reminisce.
Keon.
And your boy Carl Biz, man, signing off. You were just now watching The Corner. We'll catch you in a few.